All right, it's session 2 of Whispers of Carcosa. If you need access to the Google Sheet, let me know and I will paste that link again, but everybody should have access to it there on the chat. I'm going to launch Roll20 as well. Get to have the fun, what's on Roll20 today when I launch it. I always love that. It's never the game that we need to play. I love all these, like, when you launch Roll20, like all these like hideous like pieces of like digital maps they show, like as it flashes through, like they're really ugly. Oh, that's Vornheim. Okay. Goodbye, Vornheim. Right, cool. So I want to kick off just to kind of recap where we're at. We didn't end on a cliffhanger, did we? I don't remember doing that, but I think
no,
you were just in the village.
Yeah, we had all of that. I won't call it spooky stuff, but
you had some visions, right? Some dreams and stuff, right?
Yeah, I went to the graveyard, and then Fraser's character, is it Karos? Are you still Karos?
Karos, yeah.
Karos, yeah, Karos. He went and did some.
I communed by a tree.
Yeah, you communed with some wizard spirit or something like that. So, and of course, I think if I'm remembering, the barbarian did some really uncivilized crap.
Oh yeah, peed on somebody or something, right? Yeah, but there was fireworks
during a wedding, right?
And then went off and curled up with a dog out.
Well, so let's just do a quick recap then. Okay, I just want to make sure we weren't at a you're about to be attacked, because I couldn't recall.
Yeah, I don't think so.
So Lake Holly, the Yellow Duchess lives on an island in the center of Lake Holly. You've learned through your various ways that this island is called Carcosa. People call it that. At the very least, the spirit in Gregor's sword, his alleged grandmother Nerva, as well as I think the wizard that you spoke to, Karos, I think they all told you that, like, they call it Carcosa, this island. So that's the thing. The people of this little village, Torrens Oak, they have, I want to reemphasize what their skin looks like. It is puffy and slick. Like, it always seems like a little like sweaty or slimy. And the color is it's a little bit like, it looks like milk. It's also like just slightly translucent, like milk can be, you know. That's what it looks like. It's kind of gross. And we think there might be a connection. Well, if you guys haven't put it together anyway, there might be a connection to a vision that one of you had of a group of people coming across and landing on the shores of Lake Holly, who themselves, they were completely transparent. They had like transparent skin that showed you their bones and organs, right? So I'll just tell you guys as a sort of like, you know, at the table thing, they're kind of like the first people that populated this land. Okay. But that was a long, long time ago. And they were also on the run from something. That much the vision was clear on. Like, they were like almost like refugees. Okay. So that's about where we're at, I think. You guys still don't know why you're going to talk to the Yellow Duchess. The only thing you know for sure, you may each have your own motivations, and we're going to talk about that in a minute. But the only thing you know for sure is that she's a longtime patron of the company, and when she calls, you answer. So, awesome. So yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say, the only thing that I'm not 100% clear on is, I know we're going to the Duchess. And we're at this village, and I know we're going to take a ferry. And I know that was not only connected in Fraser's vision, but also mine too. Is that also where the Duchess is across this lake?
Yeah. Yeah.
Or is that another place that we're going to?
The island that she lives on is in the middle of the lake.
Yeah. Okay.
And some people colloquially refer to it as Carcosa.
Carcosa. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I wanted to make sure that they were one and the same, and that we didn't have two paths here.
Oh no, of course no. It's all pointing in that direction for sure. Thanks for asking that.
Yep.
So, who wants to offer up the rumor that their characters heard about the Yellow Duchess? If you have it.
Yeah, I heard she was pissed off, and I was just wondering, well, who decided to mark their territory on her? Because
Who decided to what?
Pretty important. Who decided to mark their territory on her?
So she's angry about something. That's what you heard.
I heard she was pissed off, but I have a complete misunderstanding of what that means.
Right. So. Yeah. How did you hear it?
I heard it before. I think his name is Gregor. Mm-hmm. Before he kind of recruited me to be the representative.
Okay.
In his weird way, I just heard people talking.
Okay. Awesome.
This was after I'd already been. This is after I'd been in the company for a little bit.
Okay. Awesome.
I haven't been in the company very long.
I have a barbarian question for you too.
Okay.
Be thinking about it. I think that word Carcosa, I think that's a word that you heard when you were running with the pack too. And I think that word stirs a particular emotion or memory in you vis-a-vis the pack. I'd like to know why that is. You don't have to give me that right away, but whenever you do, I'll give you an XP. So.
Okay.
Who else wants to share the rumor they've heard about the Yellow Duchess?
I don't think Chris was here when I said mine, but mine was that there's a rumor that she holds a coveted item from the wizards that they want back.
Any specific idea what it is?
Probably something to do that's like screwing with their force mojo. Like maybe that's why they're like, go do this, because she's messing with us. Like maybe she has an item that can command a wizard from in there or something like that.
Oh, I see. So she has some kind of like, does she possibly have some kind of like, is it like maybe like some kind of scrying device that she can like reach through to control the people she's watching or something like that? Like connected to your order? Okay.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Or even like Sandman, where she can like summon and bind somebody in that circle for at least a short amount of time.
Yeah, that's great. I love it. Yeah, let me make a note of that. I think that's pretty good. Let me check my notes. You might be right.
Nice.
I never get tired of that joke. It's not a joke really, but cool.
I have that answer whenever you're ready for it.
Yeah, go for
it. Yeah, so what I heard in the pack, it's something that I kind of experienced once. Wolves don't really talk, but basically, we know I know the island's called Carcosa because I heard the villagers talking about it. But when the moon rises over Carcosa, it's a like blood red color, and when the blood moon comes out, you either serve it or you die by it.
Oh, okay, good. XP for your barbarian thing.
And I think I have my rumor ready whenever you're ready for it.
Give me 1 second, Chris.
Sure.
I'll get these things down. I won't be able to use them effectively later. Go ahead, Chris. Or Gregor.
Yeah. Gregor's heard that that no one's ever actually seen her face. Anytime she appears in public, she always wears kind of this almost like funerary veil.
Any ideas what she's hiding?
most people just say that it's like some sort of disfigurement, but I think possibly she doesn't have like a what we would consider a face, because when people say that she talks, like the veil seems very close to her face, but it doesn't move when she speaks. Like there's no air flowing through it.
Good. Taros, any thoughts on your rumor?
So Taros may be confused here, but he always likes to do a little bit of research, before he goes out on these missions. Back at the guild hall through all their papers and things like that. And he thinks that this Yellow Duchess might be the same Duchess that was reported to be in Vostokia, right? Am I pronouncing that?
Vovodia?
Crimson King was.
Vovodia, the vampire plant, yeah.
Now, like I said, he may be confused by that, but that's what he thinks.
No, I think that's good. I have made a note. Awesome. And you might be closer about that than you think. Yeah. Good.
And that may be why she could be hiding her identity too.
She's a vampire. He's referring, for anybody who doesn't know, he's referring to the setting of A Red and Pleasant Land, which is this. It's Alice in Wonderlands with vampires. So.
Yeah, and this my character didn't go there or anything like that, but there would be some mission
it's legendary in the company, right? Yeah. Good. Cool. So if you guys, I don't know if you guys. So I'll ask the table. Do you guys want to do any kind of like investigating in the village at all, or do you want to just move straight to Lake Hali? Either is fine, but I just want to find out what could get you guys take the temperature here.
I feel like we didn't really interact with the villagers in any real way, aside from just like giving them gifts. So I don't know. It might be fun to get a little bit more of a hold on what exactly they're like.
Yeah, I think that's good. Yeah, we should probably let's have a. I mean, I think I'd like to kind of like lay out like kind of where I see the session going, and then if you guys have different thoughts, tell me. But we'll discuss it. But I'm thinking that like I think investigating the village is a great way to start off. You will eventually need to like press forward to Lake Hali. So I think like maybe doing a little bit of investigation. I suspect there might be some danger associated with like Hali before you actually meet the ferryman, and then we may just get to the end of the journey across the lake. We'll kind of see. That's kind of where I imagine things going. But based off like different things you have available to you, like Caros's wizardly order, or maybe Nerva Atelis, there might be things that kind of push you in different directions. But at the outset, that's kind of where I see things. That's how I see the session progressing. Does anybody have any different thoughts? Or?
That sounds good.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree. One thing I would like to add is that should we take a moment to just review everyone's
flags? Yeah, that's a good idea.
And just talk about maybe some flags we might want to hit this session.
Yeah, villages are great places to hit flags, right? Because the pressure's low. You can frame up scenes to do stuff like that. So yeah, let's talk about it.
One in particular, and this was kind of a holdover from last week. I really would like to have some scenes where basically Gregor and Karos, they both have flags where they can talk about either their tattoos or sort of their life outside of the mission, that sort of thing. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. Those are some things that have come to me that I would like to, at least with those two characters, just give them a spotlight to where they can talk about themselves a little bit.
Yeah, just tell me when you want that scene. It sounds really good to me.
Yeah, and I guess one thing I should say is I actually changed one of my flags because I did mention last week there was one flag that I wasn't really satisfied with. It was the put me in a situation where I can justly complain about.
Right, yeah.
And actually,
I feel like you could justifiably complain about anything happening in a dangerous adventure, right? Like,
right, yeah. But I changed that to make it dangerous for me to help you, because I guess the way I've been playing it, it seems like he has a tendency to run headfirst into danger, like maybe has a little bit of a death wish, that sort of thing. So because I think like at least twice, he ran kind of last session ran headfirst, it's like to ostensibly protect his party members, but he did it in a way that was probably more dangerous for him than could have been.
You lost an eye.
Yeah, I did.
Yes, you did. Yeah. Cool, awesome. Yeah, I think that's. I think the second one is probably going to be the most like hittable this session.
Oh yeah.
Just because I have a feeling this session is going to be a little bit more like kind of travel-y, maybe a little bit. I don't know, but we'll see.
And we may be able to hit those, on the ferry ride too. I mean, we don't
that's true.
Too, so I mean, that's okay. But I did want to bring up flags so that we can hit them good this round.
Well, I had an idea for my flag for highlighting that he's truly an outsider. I was thinking that he's so young that he's like only practiced like magic in this secluded like tower thing or whatever with everybody else. So he was like overjoyed at the wedding, but he had no idea what it was or like what was going on at all. Right. So maybe afterwards.
Really knowledgeable, but like naive at the same time, like that super kind of naive, thing.
Yeah, like boyish wonderment kind of thing.
Right. Yeah, that's good.
So he's got like book smarts, but not street smarts.
Yeah, no street smarts yet. He only knows where to point out to be annoying at nighttime when he's studying magic.
That's right, because he was looking over Gregor's shoulder and like criticizing and stuff, right?
Yeah.
I would explore more of that too, Gregor. I'd love to see more of like, because you've taken on this sort of like quasi magical mantle onto yourself. I'd like to see a little bit more of that play itself out in ways. What about you, Harafe? Do you have any thoughts on your flags? Anything we should be aware of?
I think everyone kind of got my flags pretty awesomely last time.
Yeah, you had a good session for that. Yeah.
So just to remind everyone, it's give me the choice not to be civilized when it would serve me to straighten up, and then the other one is point out instant gratification that would be ugly or costly for me to pursue.
Cool.
Okay. I wish I could get flags or get XP, because I think I could do that easily. It is in fact one of my moves, right? Show them, what's it called? Show them something at cost or something like that. So if you guys spend a day or two in Torrance Oak, you're welcome to stay there. The people are they're interested in you because you're outsiders, but they're also like, I don't think xenophobic is the right word, but they're definitely like a little, you could tell they're real insular, right? They don't know much about the outside world, and this village is in a remote part of this region. It's unclear how they even get along, like because normally villages have to have a trading partner and stuff, right? But they don't have anything like that. So that's just, so they're not like, they won't be super anxious to like, they'll want to talk about you more than them. Does that make sense? It's that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But otherwise, it's pretty, bog standard fantasy village. I mean, if you spend a day or two there, you can remove any debilities and heal up all your HP. That's no problem. There are no inherent dangers of being in the village, so that you're aware of at least. There's like no. It's not like you're better armed than almost everybody in the village, right? You're more powerful. So, I'm just gonna go around the table and find out what everybody's doing during this time. Gregor, what do you think?
Well, I think the first thing is I think Gregor would probably want to start talking to, I guess, people, just kind of getting the lay of the land, trying to figure out, is this, talking to shopkeepers and just saying like, does this place owe fealty to the Yellow Duchess?
I see. Yeah.
It's like, does she rule over you, or and try to nonchalantly bring up the word Carcosa in conversation.
Okay, good. All right. What about you, Carlos?
I'm thinking that like he was like at that wedding, it really sparked his like curiosity, and he like has been really coy and asking like each member of the group like certain colloquialisms that are like happening around. But as soon as like they give an answer, he does that thing where he like pretends like he knows the answer and is just reaffirming it.
Okay, good.
So like it'll start out with like, why were those people so happy? And people would be like, it's a marriage. And then he'll be like, right. And then like the next day he'll be like, what's a marriage again? Kind of thing.
He's really, really cloistered then, huh?
Yeah. He's just like, what? I know magic, and I've never seen happy people before, probably. So.
Awesome. Oh, hey, did you level Fraser, or did you level Carcosa?
Yeah, I did. Yeah. I have 1 XP over what I needed.
Okay, sure.
So now I need 9, I believe, to get to
level 2. Yeah, you need 9. Cool. What spell did you take?
For the extra one, I took invisibility, and then for the level, I took counterspell because that sounded cool.
Okay, awesome. And you bump up one of your stats by 1?
Yeah, I bumped up Dex, so it wasn't 0.
Okay, sweet. Cool. All right, awesome. Taros and Cookie, what are you guys doing?
So, yeah, I spent the night in the graveyard. I'd spent some time studying all the gravestones, and so I have this idea I want to do now that it's daylight. Kind of what Gregor is doing. I mean, I want to talk to some people in the town, and I don't know, maybe we're even going together. I don't know. I'd be up for that. But I guess tell me, is the last person that died that's in the graveyard, was that a short time ago or a long time ago? I mean, what's the take here?
It's a good question. Yes, to answer your question, I'm not going to require a DR or anything. Oh, did you freeze up, Timothy? Okay, sorry. You'll discover, yeah, that's really interesting. There's some evidence that these people might have slightly longer lives than most men. That makes sense. There are like the headstones are temporally speaking spaced out pretty far. So so there might be a little bit like they might be a little long lived, but not like elf long lived, right?
Right.
Like halfling long lived, right? Like they maybe live to 120, right? That kind of thing.
Like I think in a normal village, and this could just be a normal village. I don't know. I've got some suspicions that
sure.
But in a normal village, I would expect that there would be some, occasionally there would be some infant deaths, right? That would not live out their whole lifespan. Maybe they would die of an accident or something like that, or just get sick and die young. And that you could look in a graveyard and you would see, obviously, people have been dead for a long time and people have been dead for a short time. So that's one thing. And then whoever was the last person that died, I want to go try to find who knows that person and just.
I think it was an infant. It was an infant, and there's actually you'll notice there's the adult ones are kind of like spaced out quite a bit time wise. It seems like they don't die like quite as fast as normal humans, but there are lots of infant mortality. Okay, very high. I know.
Wow. When you say very high, you mean like more than normal, right?
More normal, yeah. Like there are lots of lots of small ones.
Okay. So I think too maybe we can have a scene with an NPC or something like that where we talk about that. But I guess I'm very curious about why that is.
Yeah. Well, maybe I like the idea of framing it up with you and Gregor kind of on your way to go, like, meet with, like, maybe the village elder or something, right? Hooray, what about you?
So I think that I probably got ran out of the village after some of my antics a few times. So I've kind of been hanging out outside the village. Maybe we have like a little camp set up. But I've kind of been exploring the surroundings a little bit.
Okay.
And I think I've been encountering, I mean, I don't know how curious I am about them. I probably recognize them, but like some like weird markings on the trees.
Yeah. Well, roll discern realities. Let's see how it goes. I'll give you that roll now. Plus wisdom.
Okay. Let me get Dice Stream up. Okay. Oh, that's not Dice Stream. Sorry. There we go. Okay. And my wisdom is 0.
Okay, so you get 3 questions. You can think about them for a second if you want. Do you have the list in front of you?
I do have the list right here. Yeah.
Pull it up too.
So I'm kind of exploring around the forest. I've noticed. Let's see what I noticed. So, what should I be on the lookout for?
I think you should be on the lookout for. Remember, you told me about those berry bushes around Lake Hali that you thought were dangerous, or that at least your pack avoided.
Mm-hmm.
Do you recall that from last session?
Yeah.
You should be on the lookout for signs that whatever those things are, they've moved a little bit inland.
Okay.
You can think about the rest. I'm gonna cut to the scene with Gregor.
Sure.
And,
sorry. Yeah, go for it.
Oh no, no worries. Yeah. I mean, usually some GMs like you do them all at once, but I like to jump around. Carlos or Taros, are you with us? I don't see your picture. That's why I ask. I think Timothy froze up or something.
Well, it went away a little bit. I thought maybe he like just went to go do something, but he didn't say anything.
Okay, well, we'll go with you instead then, Carlos. So, Carlos, yeah. Like, are you? I mean, apart from just like playing, getting to know you, and, and sometimes getting to know all about you because I don't know a lot of things. Is there anything specific you're going to do, like actionable in terms of like learning about the mystery of this place or what?
Let's see. I could maybe be doing.
You can walk. I mean, you don't have to stay in the village too. You can go to Lake Hali. You can go wherever. Like, I mean, like Hooray Forest, right?
Maybe what I've been doing is going around and doing detect magic and seeing like if anything is supernaturally wizardy around here.
I'm not going to make you cast a spell because you have the time, but I do want to discern realities though. Go ahead. We'll just use the detect magic to inform the fiction.
That's wisdom, yeah. Wizard. That's wizard. I think I have 2. No, 1. 6. So no.
Would you get a 6?
Yeah.
Okay. Mark an XP. We'll deal with that in a minute.
Seems to be my thing.
Taros and Gregor. Do you guys want to have the scene like just kind of walking to the village elder's house?
Yeah. And maybe even as we're walking, maybe this is a good time to hit a flag for Gregor. Maybe I'll just ask him, hey, what's been going on? Since since you found your dead grandmother's head, and we fought that demon, and what you been doing with your life, that sort of thing. What
I like that entree to the conversation. What's been going on since you found your dead grandmother's head? Not dead, by the way. The head's very much alive.
Well, it is a conversation starter. It's an icebreaker.
Yeah. Well, we've been, I guess, Nerva and I have been speaking lately, and she's been initiating me somewhat into the family craft, so to speak. I always have to be careful with what she tells me because it's always something, promises me, great things, but at great cost and things that I'm not necessarily willing to pay. But yeah, I've learned a little bit of ritual magic.
Yeah, I've noticed that you've been studying those tomes and things. Um, so I guess was it Haldir? Yes. I guess you saw him sort of do some things like that, and that was something that piqued your curiosity and your interest. Pretty interesting.
I suppose. I guess I guess, yeah. I mean, I've been predisposed to it, and it's just been a while since I've seen that type of thing. And then when you have a, disembodied voice talking to you through your sword, it's it's sometimes difficult to to resist.
Right.
What do you guys think about Karos, the newbie?
I think Gregor had kind of an initial dislike of him because I think that he took his naivete as like arrogance, and I think it kind of reminded him of something from like his family. But I think he's beginning to see that it is naivete. It's not arrogance. When he's pointing out things that seem like obvious, or that he's correcting me. It's not because he's doing it to be domineering or anything. It's because he's being naive.
I happen to like him a lot because he doesn't seem to be the type of wizard that's trying to go out and try to bind all these demonic forces and bend them to his will, and
that is literally what every other company wizard does, right?
I know.
I'm going on this quest so I can capture the evil thing and bring it home.
And I always feel like I have the shepherd of the party, keep an eye out on those guys. And so now I feel with Karos, sure, to kind of make sure that we are destroying evil things and not letting them, not trying to control them.
Smash Cut.
Yep.
Karos. I'm going to take you over for a little bit here in the fiction for your 6. You are, you're staying, you're not going right up to the banks of Lake Hali because it's thought to be dangerous, and it's cloaked in mystery, right? So, it's just better to go with a friend. But you're maybe like, 1/8 of a mile, 1/4 of a mile from the shores. And something catches your eye. There is a bit of hedge in a copse of trees, and you see that this hedge has berries, little clusters of berries in the hedge that they look like multifaceted, like gems, right? Very, very they glitter in the sun. Very, very enticing, right? And I think you walk up and and at least try to investigate, right? It's a mystery, right?
Yeah, definitely. Like maybe that's what he's trying to detect magic, and he's like, how can berries also be jewels?
Right, yeah. And that's and as you're doing that, though, there is a sort of like snaking out from underneath the bush, very low to the ground, and quite and not very fast, so that you don't quite notice it. But there are little ropey tendrils, like kind of like worming their way out, right, and gradually like wrapping around your boots, right, and before you know it, you realize that this thing has got you in its clutches. It suddenly becomes a little more active. The bush just appears to have these like little thin tendrils that come out from underneath it, and they're wrapping around your arms, and they're trying to, you're struggling, and that's all going on. Harafe, you happen to be wandering by, and you see this happen. What do? You see him trapped and struggling by whatever this creature is.
So I run up and grab him, and I take my dagger and cut at the vines around his ankles, and I'm not getting like super close myself. I'm just like kind of like pulling him and reaching as much as I can down at the vines.
Yeah.
Because I have a little bit of experience with these, so I know that you kind of gotta watch yourself.
Okay, nice. Do a defy danger. I think dexterity. Right?
Okay. Oh, okay. And my dexterity is 2.
2.
So that's a total of 9.
9.
Okay.
I think describe how it goes for me. I think you're going to free Karos, but you're going to get caught yourself.
Well, no.
So how does that go?
Okay, so I managed to slice the ones that are around his boots, but then like one wraps around my hand and starts pulling me in.
Nice. And that's when you can see now, as it's kind of trying to pull you in, that the bush part, it's just like it's almost like it's not really greenery as much as it's like fur or just some sort of like textured skin, because it has almost like a sarlacc like maw that opens up, right, with lots of like circular rows of needle teeth, and it's about the size of the bush is about the size of it's about the size of like a love seat maybe, and it's just like kind of opening up and ready to draw you in. Carlos, you're free. What do you do?
Okay. Can I? My first thought is to like see if I know anything about this creature.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course. Roll plus int.
Int is 2. I'm good at that. Maybe. 8.
8. I have to tell you something interesting, and I might ask you how you know. Interesting thing. You've studied. Well, you can tell me how you know, but I think I know the answer. There is a whole genus of monsters and creatures that look like other things in order to lure yahoos, adventuring yahoos in to eat them, right? That's pretty common. They're almost always alone.
Okay.
I'll ask how you know.
Yeah, the normal thing would be that I just like read it when I was studying, but maybe there was maybe the talk of the like tower in the small town where I think was one of these things happened by, and it happened to somebody, and I never saw it, but I heard of it before, and it was like the one exciting thing that happened in town ever.
Okay. Nice. Was it like a mimic or something, or yeah?
Yeah.
Good. Well, what do you do now? What action do you take?
So it appears like there's 2 things, but I would know that it's one thing.
Well, that wasn't supposed to be useful information because you didn't get a 10 plus. It was just interesting information.
Okay, sounds good. Okay, well, I'll pull on the barbarian and shoot magic missiles out of my hands.
Okay, all right. Roll magic missile. Let's see how that goes.
That's in 2, right?
Yeah, cast the spells plus int.
11. Much
Nice.
better.
I'll let you free the barbarian plus blast the thing a little bit. Roll 2d4 and then describe it for me.
6. That's not
Okay.
bad. Usually it's double ones.
Yeah. Give me the scene. What happens?
So I think what happens is like it gets confused because of our like he's touching me, and then the mass thinks that it's like one thing, and it starts shifting over to him. And in that moment, I like use my weight to pull back on him, and then I shoot the missiles out of my hands at it at like point blank range, kind of thing.
Nice. Cool. I'm gonna cut away from that. Gregor and Taros, you guys done with your walk, or you want to keep going with that, or you want to just be at the Elder?
Yeah, I think we can just. Be
I think.
Yeah.
So the name of the Elder, the village Elder, his name is Garub. His name is Garub. He is, strangely, he's dressed like his daughter or some family member of his, some young family member of his shows you in. It's a very simple, spare, dwelling, like much of the dwellings in this, like many of the dwellings in this village. There's like a main room with a simple table, maybe like, a back room where people sleep, right? It's the kind of, it's like real medieval, like everyone sleeps in one room, right? Probably on one large straw stuffed bed. And as you step in, you can smell like, kind of like there's a greasy smell that hangs in the air whenever you go in one of the people's houses of what they cook. They cook these fish that they get out of like Hali that smell just fucking terrible when you cook them. And you guys don't even recognize the smell, but you've eaten one, or you've eaten a stew of that meat. And they seem to love it, but it's not that great. Anyway, you smell that smell as you go in. Garub is he looks almost like he's wrapped up like a mummy. He's like his hands and his arms and even his head, everything but like his eyes and his nose and his mouth are all wrapped with like cloth or like bandages, right? Like he's covered from head to toe, and he's very, very old, and he has that same sort of like slick, milky skin. Okay. And he says, our visitors have come to pay respects to Garub, or to perhaps ask me what I know about our village's ancient history, no doubt.
Well, you seem quite prescient. That's both of those were true. We wanted
He's
to.
Like, you're not the first outsiders to come in here and ask about Torrens Oak. It would seem we are exceptional in the world and of great interest to scholarly minds.
Indeed, this is a fascinating and very interesting village. A very nice wedding ceremony the other day, and we thank you for your hospitality.
Yes. It is. We do not get outsiders very often. Most people in this village, they've never wandered more than a mile or two radius in any direction. But I've lived a long life, and I've seen some things, and I like to hear stories of the outside world.
Oh yes. In the outside world, I've never been to a village quite like this. It's quite unique. What do you think gives this village its unique character?
Well, he says, we, in some places, you intermarry, you interbreed. Families stay within their communities for a long, long time, and eventually you find yourselves becoming somewhat, he would say, homogeneous, which is also a milk joke about their skin. You start to take on very similar qualities. I think that's what you mean. The Torrens Oak look.
Yes, possibly. See, and we are passing through, but is this? Do you administer this village yourself, or do you fall under the purview of the Yellow Duchess?
Yellow Duchess. That's an interesting thing. I'm feeling very tired now. I'm afraid that I can only stay awake for a few hours every day at this point, and it's just about time for me to go to sleep. Taros, he's trying to shut down. You're going to try to dive in there?
Yeah, so, quick question for you, Nap. I mean, one thing that I've always sort of judged villages that I travel through by is not only just the people that are there, they're alive, but also, they're dead, tell their history. And I couldn't help but notice in your cemetery that it seems a lot are passing away soon. Is this also because of your inbreeding, perhaps? Is this causing a problem with you? What do you... I only ask this, and I realize it could be a sensitive topic, but I only ask this because I truly wish to help. If there's something we can do.
It's good. I'm going to cut away. You blast this thing, Karos. It like reels back. It makes like kind of a sound. You can tell now it's got like little feet, right? And it kind of like, like edges back or whatever. Hooray, if you're free, what do you do?
So what's the anatomy of these things like? Like, what can we tell? Does it just look like a bush right now with feet?
Yeah. Well, it's kind of like it's truly really kind of like amorphous, I guess.
Okay.
So it's kind of like it's all flesh, but it's taken the shape of this attractive bush. So.
Okay. I think I think I'm just gonna back up and because we're free now, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna back up and throw my my big bone club at it.
Okay, nice. Roll volley. That's plus dex.
9.
Is this from the Drake that you got? Is this the bone you got from the Drake?
Yeah.
Cool.
No, it's from the orcs.
Yeah,
the ogre.
The ogre had one.
Oh, yeah.
The ogre had one.
Yeah.
So I rolled a 12.
Nice. Roll your damage.
Okay.
Philip, you need to take that barbarian move when you get a chance, that when you roll a 12 plus, they lose something, like a limb or a...
Oh, okay.
Because
so I rolled 5 damage.
Okay. Was that a D10, I guess? You got a D10?
Yes.
Okay. It looks like a D8 on the picture, but I guess it's Dice-Stream's little image is not that discernible.
Yeah.
Sweet. That's enough to kill it. Just describe destroying it.
Okay, so I basically spin around, and this bone club is like super heavy. And I let go of it, and I think what happens is that it like, as it's like hurtling towards this thing, it like catches it in the top of its jaw and just like rips it in half and like splays it open. Yeah. And like all the contents of its like belly are kind of just showing there in the middle of all the guts and everything.
Nice. Cool. We'll pick up that scene in just a minute. Or the aftermath anyway. Taros, Grub, he looks at you and he says, yes, it's true. We have something of a bit of difficulty of keeping the young ones alive. It is something we have always struggled with in Torrens Oak. Less than 1 in 10 survives. But when they do, we last a good long time, as you can see.
Says the guy who has to like power nap most of the day.
I'm stunned that they're able to persist as a community. I mean, that is a horrible birth rate or mortality.
It's very bad, yeah.
Yeah. So there's something going on. I like kind of cut a look at Gregor, and I'm just like, well, is there? Thank you so much. I know that you're tired and you need to rest, and we won't keep you. Would you suggest someone else that we could inquire about? About the, interesting nature of your community.
He said, give me a parlay.
Okay. All right. I think it's. Ooh.
I don't think he likes you.
He says, what is there to tell? He's like, accept the truth. And he kind of like shuffles forward a little bit, and he undoes the bandages on his arms and exposes his chest, and you see it. You see the bones, the veins. You see his heart beating behind his rib cage. You see tendons.
This was straight out of my vision.
Yeah.
Last night. Oh my God.
Yeah. He says, those of us who have the look of Carcosa, we have to engage in an unsavory rite to go about in daylight unnoticed. He's like, and now what would you do with me? Kill me? Kill all of us? Certainly you are better armed than anyone in Torrens Oak. Or let me take my nap.
No, I have no reason. I have no reason to take your life.
Did you mark an XP?
No, I will.
Yeah.
I mean, I think I'm a bit shaken, and I'm not sure exactly what to say other than I'm making no moves to try to be aggressive or anything.
And you can see even now as you speak to him, like you can kind of see that color leaving his face just a little bit, revealing a bit of cheekbone. Right?
Yeah. I'm not even sure I've told Gregor what my vision was yet. So I look over at him. I don't know what his reaction is, but
yeah, Gregor is just kind of I think he's more taken aback than anything. He's I think he's a little speechless at this point. So
we'll cut away. Let's just have the immediate aftermath with Karos and Hooray, if that's okay.
I was thinking it might be a good time to try to hit my flag for being an outsider. Like I was thinking, like this monster is probably not a big deal, and they probably deal with them sometimes, but maybe he overblows it, like the situation, and goes into town and starts like running through the streets and warning everybody about this like this monster that is coming, and like they're invading and like all that kind of stuff, whereas everybody's like, you're an idiot.
Well, so what's the flag? Highlight that I'm truly an outsider here. Oh, okay, I see. Well, so in order for Harif to hit it, he would have to basically like stop you from doing that, right? I mean,
Yeah, like so I was thinking like after you kill it, he sort of like grabs you by your shoulders and he's like, "We have to warn the townspeople. Monsters are coming!"
Monsters are coming! I love that.
And Harry, he just says, "Everyone knows about these. We stay away from these. They're dangerous."
What of the town people? Once in my village,
They stay away. They stay away from them too. They're here. They're closer.
You sure?
They're closer, but they've been here.
Well, if they keep coming closer, then are we not in danger? Or like the villagers who aren't as strong and strapping as you with your bone club of might?
And he's like picking it up, and it's all bloody.
Yeah.
A reminder, Rafe, that you have 2 more questions on DR still too. So.
Yeah. So, are we done with this flag thing? I think Harif it doesn't really care about the villagers, so he's not really. I mean, I guess he like mentions to you that they probably know about these bushes, but I mean, I don't feel like he's gonna stop you if you panic.
So, but yeah, like it's just a normal thing that like happens, basically, right? It's not the end of the world like he thinks it is.
I mean, he's probably. I mean, I imagine your character is pretty freaked out, but yeah, I think that Harif's life and probably the life of a lot of villagers here is that you stay away from these things because you know that they're really appetizing, but they lure people in, and the closer you go to the lake, the more likely that they're not just regular berry bushes; they're actually going to be some monster.
I think he looks visibly relieved, and then like kind of coyly, he's like, "What's a marriage?"
And Rafe is like, "A what?"
Exactly. And he like
no one's ever
throws up
talked
his
about
hands.
weddings. No one's ever
Yeah. He's like, exactly, and like throws up his hands and starts like walking away.
The dog pack.
So
I'm beginning to feel like the company sent the 2 of you just as some sort of like practical joke. Like,
No, I'm like a decent wizard. I'm just like learned.
I make no claims to being a decent warrior. So after he like walks away with his hands up, I'll use my other discern one of my other questions. Looking in like the splayed guts of this monster, what here is useful or valuable to me?
Oh yeah, that's a good one. They actually do have they have like a central, it's kind of like a cortex of sorts, like maybe their brain and nervous system. But it's actually, it appears to be like it's a prize thing. It looks kind of like like an amber, just a glob of like amber crystal. It's not actually amber, but it looks like that, and it's considered a very decorative thing, and it's traded. Right. So.
Okay, so I take that and throw it over my shoulder at Kalos's direction.
Yeah.
And I turn and I look at the rest of its contents, I guess.
Yeah.
And I want to say like maybe I find like a wolf body.
Oh, okay.
And I take that.
Oh, there's like a wolf body like inside, like it's like a skeleton or something. Ew, gross. Okay.
It's like a carcass.
Nice.
It's really gross, and I take that.
Partially digested. Yeah.
And Karos throws up.
I'm gonna let's take like a 2-minute break and we'll come back. Okay.
Okay.
Fraser, on that text, were you doing kiki ma ma ma?
No, the like horror music where it's like.
Yeah, I think that's usually spelled out ki ma ma ma.
Oh, why?
It's
That's
how it's normally spelled out, I think.
Yeah, well, that's what I was trying to go for.
All right. Hooray, if you can hold that question for whenever you're kind of in the forest or the surrounding area again.
The last question?
Yeah, unless you have it now,
Sure.
But otherwise you can hold it for later.
Yeah, I'll hold it, yeah.
But I'd like to put you all back together at the village, if that's all right. So you meet back up in Town Square. Actually, Timothy's not here, sorry.
You know what's exciting, Jason?
But
apparently, how many people like baseball games? I thought there'd be like nobody.
It's good though, right? I mean, I think there's a hole in the market, right? There aren't many sports role-playing games. It's not a thing, you know.
Yeah.
So.
Well, and I think it will be more appealing because it's not about actually playing baseball.
Oh yeah. Well, so like Worldwide Wrestling, like to me, the best part of that game is the best part of that game is the little promo spots and the behind the scenes stuff. Like the wrestling is fun too, but like the stuff outside the ring is like really good. It's the best part.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. I still haven't even gotten that to the table actually. I'd like to play it.
I haven't either. I've got the book. I backed the International Incident, and I've never.
Oh yeah, I don't have the International Incident, but I have the core book, and I have a shirt that I wear all the time too. I have a really cool T-shirt from it. But
is Lowell gonna run some like with?
Yeah, in 2017. So this is pretty cool. In 2017, he's gonna do he's gonna basically do like a wrestling federation, like a wrestling promotion. And he's going to try to run it at different, like bi-weekly, but at different times and days to like get maximum coverage in the community, right? In terms of time zones. And essentially like, if you're able to make the session, then your wrestler's on the card that week. Right. So
that's cool.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah. I'll definitely try that.
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be pretty neat. I'll probably try to jump in at least a couple of those if he does that. That'd be pretty sweet.
Yeah, I keep hearing really good things about it. But yeah, initially I had the same thing where I was like, I don't know anything about wrestling. All I know about it is that it's like fake.
And kayfabe we call that. Yes.
Yeah.
When I was young, my uncle used to take all my action figures and break them by
wrestling stuff.
My uncle's like a big kid, so.
Nice. Yeah, I was really into wrestling when I was like pretty much like from the time I was like 6 years old until about like 8th grade or so. Like I was really, really into wrestling. But then after that I kind of stopped. Cool. We're all set to go. So yeah, Harif's going to hold his question, and then we're just going to put everybody back at the village together, the square of Torrens Oak. You all meet up. We'll say it's maybe early in the evening. Role play.
Oh yeah, and maybe before that, can I forgot last time I asked you. I think could we sell that stuff that we had too?
Remember, what was it you were trying to move?
Fire glint. Oh yeah, no.
Oh, no one in this village is gonna like.
Yeah.
By the way, Karos, don't forget that I chucked that glob thing, that amber glob thing, back at you. So you probably picked that up.
Yeah. It's a mimic. Sure. It's a mimic cortex. You can put that.
Mimic cortex. Yeah. Cool. And then also, I was wondering, can I buy a lantern so that my picture is complete?
Oh sure. Well, you could say you have that in your adventuring gear, right? So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So when we walk back in the village, I am like holding really closely to me this wolf husk.
I think someone stops you and they go, well, they know you. You've already like got something of a reputation. And I think the kids don't mind coming up to you, right? Because kids are that way. and there are not many kids, but there is one that comes up to you, and again, very heavily swaddled, but otherwise just white, milky face. He says, "Ew, disgusting! What's that?"
And I think I say, my brother. It's my brother.
He's like, "Your brother?"
My brother. And I hold it close.
He's like, "I had a brother once, but he was one of the unlucky ones."
And I say, my brother was unlucky too.
He reaches out to try to touch the carcass.
I wonder if it would be a good time for me to hit the flag for instant gratification and be like, definitely, obviously, do not show a young boy the remains of this carcass or something.
So I say I want to be like my brother. So I take the carcass and kind of rip the belly part open and kind of splay it over my back with the top of the head going over my head, and it's
disgusting.
All the blood and
oozing down.
Yeah.
Well, Taros and Gregor, you can't miss Harafe and Karos walking back into the village.
And I throw up again, probably.
What do you think about this, Jason? I think maybe Kooky might have some sort of emotional trigger with the smell of dead canines or dead dogs or dead wolves.
Maybe. I think she just maybe.
I think she just starts popping, and uncontrollably.
Oh, she I know what she does. She blinks to the bottom of the well, the village well.
You in the well, huh?
And then you just hear her whining down there, splashing around and whining. That's it. That's all you hear.
I'm gonna go get my dog. Sorry, guys.
I'll miss a cat stuck in a tree. It's like a dog stuck in a well.
I'll miss the first round or two in the tavern because I gotta get my dog out of the well.
If they serve us, ooh, I know. Can I if he hit that flag or not? If he had, then maybe what I do is I cast invisibility and touch the thing so he thinks that he's still wearing it, but it's gone to everybody else. The carcass.
Actually, no. The invisibility has to be on the totality of a person. I don't think that would. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I have the head of the wolf over my head. And then
it's also partially digested too. It's not even intact, right?
Yeah, the whole back half of it is gone. Yeah.
So Taros, you're gonna go down there and get Kooky.
Yes.
Okay.
So the dog literally jumped down a well?
It doesn't jump down the well. It teleports down to the well, basically.
Right.
Oh, it's a blink dog?
A blink dog.
It is a blink dog, yeah. Kooky is a blink dog, yes.
Oh, okay.
So she teleported to the bottom of the well, and now she's too scared to get back out. So, Gregor, what are you up to?
When I come back, I kind of guess I nod at Harafe. I guess it's not unexpected at this point. So, I mean, all right, he's wearing a, I guess, wolf carcass. All right. What else was I expecting?
And I also think for purposes of fiction, probably on our walk back to the square, I think I would have told Gregor about my vision in the graveyard last night. Because of what we just saw. So I would make that connection so you can be like, oh.
Yeah. But when I get back, I'll kind of let them know what Taros and I saw. I point to one of the villagers and say, well, Taros and I found out what's under their bandages, and I kind of give a brief summary of our interaction with the elder.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and just to be clear, they have to do some kind of like ritual with the young ones to like to make their skin opaque, basically. Right? There's probably some historical reason why they had to find something to do, because maybe people were killing them or whatever, right? Because they're, so strange. What were we about to say, Carlos?
Yeah, like is this like a thing that people know about?
I think it's like one of those, like everyone kind of knows what is up, but no one talks about it, and that it's almost like it might even be, they're not going to talk to you about it, but it might be like a culturally normal thing in Torrens Oak, right?
Okay, cool.
The wolves and I may or may not have eaten one of these people. So
that's almost certainly true. You may or may not. Well, so I want to kind of summarize here a little bit. Like, I mean, what do we want to try to accomplish in the village still, so we can kind of figure out how we need to frame up scenes. Like, what else is to be done? Like, do you guys want to like go a little further on this, or maybe leave it for now, or what?
Is this like a thing that we could cure them of? Like, is this like a thing that they have to deal with because like a magical thing that's just like happening?
I think I'll tell you that like they are their basic problem is they can't breed with normal humans. That's their basic issue, right?
Okay.
They're actually human, like if we were to like take DNA samples or whatever, but they can't interbreed with the people of this world and this land, right? And so as long as they're here, they're just going to have this problem,
Okay. So it's not really something that we can solve. So I think Karos would look at you all and he would just be like, "This place is really sad. Can we go now?"
Agreed.
Yeah, I don't care either way. So
as long as you could get some more wolves and stuff. And if we're at a tavern, then I order something like spicy so that I can't smell his rotting shit next to me.
They just have that disgusting fish stew they serve.
Oh, great.
It's unclear what smells worse. So
yeah, he's just like staring between the two and trying to make up his mind.
These fish at Lake Hali, they are like, you're pretty sure you got like a head, and that sucker had like 3 eyes or whatever, right? It's not good.
Right. Okay.
And yeah.
I think at some point I go to the druid and I ask him to help me make it easier to wear. So
make this easier to wear.
Yeah.
The pelt.
Oh yeah.
The pelt. Yeah.
Well,
the partially digested pelt.
I know we're gonna have to.
Yeah, it's real gross.
So I go on about how we're gonna have to clean it up. We're gonna have to like string it up and let it dry in the sun, and all of this processing. It's gonna take days and days for that to happen. But we could do it. We could do it. In fact, maybe, do we know how long the ferry ride is over? Is it?
No, you don't.
We don't.
You can see the island. You can see it. Like,
I see. Okay.
From the shore.
So I mean, just logically looking at it, we would think, oh, that's probably maybe an hour or two over there, right?
Two,
yeah. Anyway. Yeah, I'll tell him I've dried many a pelts before. I can help you out there, but it's going to take the length of our trip. I think here for that.
Okay.
Battle.
So I take off the bloody corpse and hand it to you. I kind of foist it on you.
Yeah, and and I'm gonna look for the first moment where I can just like ditch this like behind a bush somewhere, And
Yeah.
You're not even gonna keep it.
Well, I don't know. It's pretty nasty. It depends.
Well,
I've noticed his attention span is not too long. So there's the gambling part of me that wants to just think I just roll the dice and maybe you just forget all about the fact that he gave it to me.
right.
Until we come across more wolves, and then he'll probably say, "Oh, hey, where was that carcass I gave you?" Anyway, no, I don't know. It's pretty nasty.
All right.
So can we inquire as to like when we can be taken across and stuff and get it going?
The understanding is you knew this from the company. Actually, all you have to do is just go to the shores of Lake Holly, and the ferryman will respond. He will come.
Oh, okay. Well, it's like
already, so.
I say we just like eat and then go because this place is unsettling.
It is unsettling. I agree.
Yes. Although actually, while we're in the tavern, real quick, I might want to hit one of Karos's flags, as in between, the rotting fish and the rotting carcass and the rotting people. I guess they're not really rotting. Gregor will kind of try to change the subject and just say, "Oh, so Karos, I notice you have a lot of tattoos. Did you do those have any personal significance to you, or?"
So my idea for the character concept was that his idea of preparing these spells is that he like writes them on his skin, like the actual words on his skin, and then maybe as they're cast they like dissipate, and then every night he needs to like rewrite them to prepare them again, kind of thing.
Okay.
Like Memento.
Well, I'm not really a story, but yeah. But yeah, like I don't know, I thought that would be a neat play on like why you have to prepare your spells each day, is that he's actually like having to physically put it on his body to cast them, and then sometimes they go away when he has to like forget the spell and all that kind of stuff. I thought that'd be neat, maybe.
Yeah, I like it.
Cool.
Nice. That's cool.
That would even if you were intimate with another wizard, I mean, you could like write it on each other's backs, that sort of thing. Places where you wouldn't normally be able to write them. That'd be fun.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Okay. Well, so you guys like gonna head out to Lake Holly at night? Is that what's going on?
Yeah, maybe it's like all foggy and mysterious.
Well, it is what it is. I mean, it's just
Okay.
everything around Lake Holly seems very still. There's a stillness to it.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. So you head out there. You are at you're at the shore of the lake. The moon is very high in the sky. I don't know if it's a red moon, but it's very big and very bright in the sky. In the very far distance, from the edge of the lake, from the shore, you can see a black mound shape in the middle that you presume is this island where the Yellow Duchess lives. If you had gone by in the day, and we'll say maybe you did at some point, at least maybe not right up to it, but there were no obvious structures on the island. But allegedly she has her home there, right?
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, I think you don't even have to like wait that long, and kind of like appearing, like just kind of like appearing like in silhouette, silhouetted by the moonlight. You see the wide, flat barge, or like, it's just, it's a barge, a big, wide, flat, floating platform. And a man rowing it, he's got a paddle and everything. He's just rowing it right up. Classic sort of like grizzled ferryman, right? Like, wearing a hood, and a long cloak and that kind of thing. And the thing, like, as he gets up to the shore, it like kind of runs up on the shore with like kind of a thud thud, and kind of sticks in the mud. And he looks upon you all and he says, you can't quite see his face because it's dark. I assume you have a torch, but he's got kind of a hood kind of covering his face, or at least the upper half of his face. He says, are you going to Carcosa?
Yeah.
Yes.
He's like, very well. Yeah. Step on.
Carlos like gulps audibly and then makes sure he's the last one to step on it.
I walk on. I am like stinking and flies buzzing around me.
Yeah, Gregor walks on the ferry.
Nice. Once everybody's on, he steps off just enough to like kind of give it a kick, kick it off, unwedge it from the mud, and then he'll kind of get on himself. And he kind of walks, to the front of it and just begins to row, and begins rowing you guys out into the just out to the lake. Do you guys say anything to him, or?
Yeah, I ask him, what's the fare?
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, what's the fare? How much does it cost?
He says, I stopped collecting a fare a long time ago. I get a certain pleasure just from making the journey.
How is it that you know when travelers need you?
Not many people come to Lake Hali.
And you're always watchful of the other side to see if people need passage?
It's like, you can tell he's kind of looking over at you a little bit, even though you can't see his eyes, and he says, you could say something like that.
I look at everybody, it's like, and I'm like, unsettling.
Are we all like just standing on this ferry or sitting? Or?
You can stand, you can sit. It's pretty wide. Like it could probably fit like 10 to 15 people. Like it's just a big flat platform, and it moves very slowly across the water.
Yeah. Okay. I think what I do is I go curl up by what's her name? The blink dog.
Cookie.
The one that you scared the shit out of?
Yeah, as fact is, when you come over there, you hear me talking to Cookie saying, no blinking, no blinking. Not a good place to blink.
Not a good place to blink. The ferryman will kind of like look over to you, Gregor, and kind of motion toward Haraif and say, it's been a long time since I've seen him.
Been a long time since you've seen Haraif, or?
Oh, yes, I've seen him. He used to roam these lands. I'd recognize him.
Yeah. He's. I believe his tribe is from around here. Have you met him before?
His tribe, is that what he calls it? His tribe. Yes, they're a very pack-oriented people. He continues to row.
I've noticed.
Your other friend over there, does he have a tail?
Yes, he does. He's we're a bit of a strange group, but this place is a bit stranger still.
He's still kind of rowing, and he kind of but he kind of like stops for a minute once he gets some momentum going, and leans in close, and he says, "She told me you would be along."
And Gregor, knowing what he means, he asks, "Who told you?"
She did. She has visited me in my dreams. I have seen her. I have communed with her. And she told me that you were coming.
What did she tell you of me?
Only that you are ungrateful. And that you deserve whatever the Yellow Duchess has in store for you.
That is quite possible. What can you tell me about the Yellow Duchess?
I've never met her myself.
So I guess I was under the impression that you worked for her, so I guess that isn't the case.
We have an unspoken understanding.
What kind of understanding is that?
And then he kind of stops, and he gets a little like kind of, he looks behind himself and looks. He turns and he's like looking at something behind you guys.
Yeah. Gregor turns and looks.
He does not let you. He'll stop you. He'll say, no. He's like, you mustn't turn around. Do you hear me? All of you. Come here. You too, dog. Like talking to you, Brave.
Dog.
People have called him that before. So
he's kind of like lining you all up. He's calling you all to him at the front of the barge. He says,
okay.
Listen to me. And he seems to be looking at something like behind you guys. He says, whatever you do, you must not turn around. No matter how tempted you may be, no matter what happens, do not look over your shoulder. There's something that has been stalking you and your colleagues, your companions, for a very, very long time. And it's making his move. And he is behind you. He is directly behind you.
Right, he himself.
Oh,
He's like shaking.
He actually really wants us to look behind.
So here's the deal. After that unnerving admonition, he continues to, and he'll occasionally look back and be like, don't look behind you. But this ferry ride seems like it's taking a long goddamn time. Like you should have been over ages ago, right? Yeah. Like you don't seem like you're getting any closer to any island. We're going to take just a quick 2-minute break, but I'm going to leave you with a question for everybody to answer.
Okay.
You can tell that you're not just moving to an island in the center of this big lake. You're moving into another plane of existence, another dimension. I want you each to tell me one detail, no matter how small or big, one detail that you see that lets you know you're not in Kansas anymore. Okay? And we'll take a quick 2-minute.
Hey, Chris, how did you get your banner to look like that? Mine always has like the color above it. And Timothy Tim. Mine's like the only one.
Yeah, there's two different apps. We're using the one in Dice Stream, and you're using the one in
Hangout
the
Toolbox.
Hangout Toolbox. Yeah,
Oh,
it's just two different apps that have a lower third. Yeah.
Yeah.
gotcha.
Hey, you may want to join. Philip, you might want to join the Roll20 soon.
Oh
So you
yeah.
can see some stuff.
I think I have a login.
All you have to do is click on the little. If you scroll over to the left, you should see a little Roll20 die.
It should just put you in.
Yeah, just click it. You don't have to do anything.
Okay. I need to log in. Let's see.
This is where.
Oh.
Remember that tonal shift I
Okay.
promised you in the first session?
Yeah.
Tonal shift. Okay.
Yeah.
At the beginning of the first session, I said that like there'll be a bit of a like
Oh,
a shift.
Chris is going to be right back.
Yeah, I see that.
It said it's getting tremulously.
Tremulously.
Yeah.
Have you picked up on the reference to our Tremulous game?
The whatchamacallit, the Duchess, right?
Yeah. The play that was called Whispers of Carcosa, and it had a ferryman, a duchess, and and some other things.
Yeah. We are the play.
You are reenacting the play of our Tremulous game.
I'm a puppet. A meat puppet.
Cool. Chris, you back?
Yeah, sorry, my audio cut out all of a sudden.
No worries. All right. So, this journey seems to be going on for a really long time, and you guys don't even question it. It's almost just seems like this is the way it's supposed to be. I'd like to know what you see or hear or feel in the environment that lets you know that like you're actually transitioning from one plane of existence to another. Whoever has that detail, let me know.
I thought that maybe there's like a popping sound, and then when I look down, my tattoos are like a different color.
Oh, okay. I like that. Personal touch is good. Anybody else?
I guess the further we travel, as we first set off, it's normal night sky. There's stars, but the sky gradually turns, a different color. It turns, from like blue or black to, like almost purple, and there are still stars in the sky, but they shine, a different color, and they're in the constellations, Gregor doesn't recognize
them. Yeah, good.
Yeah, I think the moon turns like a blood red for me.
Nice, good. Yeah. Terrace, any thoughts? What do you see?
Yeah, the druid has, the move born of the soil, right? Where you, no matter where you go, it lives within you, and that's fine. And I'm from, the Whispering Plains, so I still feel that my racial mood being an elf is that also always consider my land, but
Right, yeah.
but I don't feel the great forest anymore.
It's gone.
Yeah, and I'm not sure I can change into any forest animals now. I'm not. I mean, I'm a little bit like, whoa. I feel really disconnected from that aspect of me.
Yeah.
And I'm not. I'm not. I don't know. I'm not sure. So
Yeah, that's good. You are getting closer eventually to this shadowy black mass that you have to assume is the island. And as you get closer and closer, it appeared like, so like it appeared on the horizon a certain, size, and you get up to it, it seems like it's maybe the size of like a football field or something, right? But as you're getting closer and closer, you realize that it's getting bigger and bigger. Like you guys are actually like much, much smaller than it, right? As the barge is making its way. This thing is so big, you would have definitely noticed it from the shores of Lake Hali, right? That's another evidence that you're not like, you're in a different place now. And as you approach this, it's just a black inky mass. As you approach it, the ferryman turns to you and says, I shall warn you one last time. No matter how tempted you are to do so, do not look over your shoulder. Do not turn around. He has been waiting for many, many years, decades and decades. And then he looks and he says, Carcosa has called you. Are you ready to answer her?
Who is behind us?
He doesn't answer. And before you know it, you realize that you're standing on just a tract of like soft gray or silty soil. All out in front of you. You're not on the boat anymore. You don't see the ferryman anymore. In front of you, you appear to be in some sort of like valley, I guess, because there are like high, gray, rocky, sheer cliff faces on either side, right? And in the distance, actually very far out, like you can see just like that strange colored sky that Chris described, but like vast. It feels huge and vast, right? And you might even see like the surface of a planet, like nearby, right? Like up in the, like if you look like up in the sky, you'll see like the surface of a planet. And in the little valley that you're standing in, that you're now walking in, directly ahead, there is a massive complex, silvery, or not silvery, but sort of like shiny gold and yellow, like metallic complex at the end of this little valley. I have a picture for you.
yeah, let's see that.
I think this is the picture I want. Let's see. Nope. Does not want to load. Try it again. Try it one more time. It's not working. Yeah, it won't let me drag it. Maybe I can insert it. Let's see here. I might be at my limit too.
Oh yeah.
The the Gauntlet Patreon should get a paid subscription to Roll20.
Yeah, if we used it more, I would. But like, I don't personally use it that just for this, like, this very rudimentary use that I make of it.
That's pretty small.
The image.
Yeah.
I can zoom.
Yeah.
This is just a kind of a, as you're approaching it, what it looks like, really.
Oh, cool.
This bridge.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, scroll around, take a look at that sucker. It's floating in space above this planet, basically. And this is what it looks like as you exit the valley. This is what you're staring at. It's not like anything any of you have ever seen. There's no activity, like it's not like crawling with people or anything. But the atmosphere is perfectly normal. Like, you know, your characters wouldn't have any concept of this anyway, but like you are all able to breathe normally, right? Like even though we as players would think that you'd be suffocating right now, right? But you're not. Yeah, I'm just gonna go around the table and find out. I want to find out what your characters are thinking, what your plan is. Just want to read the table real quick. And hooray, if you still have you have one more question. I'll give you the benefit of too.
Okay.
But Taros, what do you think?
I'm wondering if this is some dwarven scheme.
Sure. It does have a sort of mechanical look to it, right? That the dwarves
Yeah,
would do
you know,
things for.
even though I've never seen dwarves build anything like this, it's like, what have they been working on in secret? Those guys.
Indeed.
Anyway, yeah.
Carlos, what are you thinking?
I think that he's thinking like this is why in some way like fate or the guild sent him there is because like it's clearly not of this earth and it's like probably something arcane. And I think he has like some childish thing that he made when he was younger that's like wrapped around his like wrist, and he takes it off and casts it aside, and then in his mind he's thinking like the time has come to cast aside childish things.
Okay, nice. Gregor?
Yeah, Gregor is just kind of astounded at everything, and he's thinking that when he gets a chance, he might try contacting Minerva. Well, if he can, actually, bringing forth Minerva and asking, or Nerva, basically asking, you know, what the hell is this place?
Yeah, I think it'll still work because she's connected to the sword, right? And I think that's,
yeah.
Bit of hers in there, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's not like a Wi-Fi signal. It's not a
That's awesome.
Yeah,
you have 26% connectivity to Minerva.
Hooray! What do you think? What are you up to?
So I see the bridge. I don't really understand it, and I'm kind of like really scared and kind of panicky right now. And so I'm shaking, and I look up at the huge red planet in the sky, and I like fall down onto my butt on the ground, and I'm staring at this huge red planet in the sky. And I'd like to do something like open my brain. I don't know how that would work,
but
you're just trying to like kind of like get it. I mean, this is just certain realities, right? But we could just use the fictional positioning of like you're opening yourself up to the planet or whatever, right? So yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
okay,
you've got a question if you want to just ask.
I do. So why don't I ask what here is not what it appears to be?
Yes, that's a good one. I think that this place Well, so tell me how you're. I think before I give you your answer, I'd like to know like how you're trying to come about it. I think that'll help me answer the question. Like, what are you kind of doing?
So I think Haraith is looking up at this planet in the sky, and to him, in his mind, he's like, "This is the blood moon.
Right.
I have to serve the blood moon."
Right.
So like that is like that message is rising up inside of him. So
I will tell you what here is not what it appears to be. This planet, Carcosa, let's say, this planet, this red, you know it as this red moon, and you believe you have to serve it, right? This place, and you can feel it, you can sense it, I think. You know it. It is home to some very, very ancient and vast and powerful old entities, and they reach out. Maybe there's one or more than one. Maybe it's the whole planet. It's the planet itself. Who knows? But there is an intelligence. There's an alien intelligence that is constantly probing. It's probing the multiverse, and it's calling out to you.
So I take my dagger and I cut a circle in my chest and start smearing my blood all over me.
What does the rest of the party think about this?
I wonder, is this one of your flags that you're going for, or what?
I wasn't going for a flag, but if you think you can.
I think everyone's hit one tonight, so it's not the end of the world.
Instant gratification, that would be ugly or costly. Maybe not. Yeah, like Carlos is definitely gonna like try to grab your hand and stop you from hurting yourself more, and says this place is strange, but it's no reason to harm ourselves.
I have this really weird look on my face. Like I kind of have like crazy eyes, and I kind of have like a scowl on my face, and my face is just kind of frozen like that.
You need to decide if this place is more important to you or the people that you travel with.
Yeah. He actually walks past you. Did you take the knife away?
I just moved like your hand so that you weren't cutting yourself anymore.
Yeah. So I think what he does is he walks past you and starts walking towards. Are we going towards the bridge?
I guess so. If you're going that way,
it's literally the only direction to go.
Yeah.
You're being funneled to the bridge.
Yes.
Going to the bridge then.
And I think he's like dripping blood, kind of.
Nice.
Very gross. Yeah. Is it okay if I give myself a harm?
Give yourself what?
A harm?
Oh, I bet it's okay.
All right,
you can handle the fiction. It's fine.
Okay.
So, Terrace, what were you about to say?
So I do remember reading some of the guild about maybe the guild hall itself came from this place called space, maybe, or something like that. I don't know.
It did, yeah. The guild hall. This is a thing that is known in the company, or rumored in the company, that the actual like stone structure of the guild hall used to be a spacefaring vessel. Right?
Yeah, and while that's really hard to understand, I think for most people, including myself,
I have
don't
no
know.
concept of it.
Yeah, and I don't think I really had a concept of it either until perhaps I'm here, right?
Yeah.
And maybe some things are. I'm angling for a spout lore here.
No, I'll take it. Go for it. Yeah.
Okay. So I don't know. Maybe I'm putting 2 and 2 together. Or maybe I'm not. I don't know. We'll see.
Mm.
A 7. My int is. I guess I should check my int because it could be -1. I don't think it is. I think it's just a flat roll. But let me check.
It's a 0. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a flat roll. So 7.
Something interesting. What you particularly wanted to know about?
I guess I'm just trying to understand our situation, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm just trying to figure it out, right? Where am I? Where are we? That sort of thing. Where did we, how did we get here from where we came? I'm just trying to put the puzzle pieces together.
Yeah. Your understanding of wild space, they call it at the guild, is different than this. Your understanding of it is that it is it's different and it's similar. For one thing, the wild space of your home planet is known to be it's like crisscrossed with like flying boats, basically. Okay, spelljammers they call them, and it's, I mean, they're not like everywhere you see, but like it has its own life. It has its own it's meant to be. It's like a whole other like way of living, right? This is not that. This feels like a void. Like it feels empty. There's it just seems different that way, but similar too. Like you're breathing, right? Like you're able to breathe out in this void. So
okay.
But the important thing there in terms of like player information is you're not just in like a different part of like the universe, you're in a different dimension. Okay.
I see. Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You go on the bridge. There are just narrow little footpaths basically that go across this like it looks like it does there. It's kind of like almost like a spine or like bone, like the boning of a dress or something, right? Like it's it's like there are big gaps in between the little walkways, but you're kind of making your way across. You are very, very small in scale. I mean, like you are quite tiny. Like you wouldn't even like on this picture, we wouldn't see you, right? So it's a bit of a journey, right? But you're able to make your way across. I don't think it's undertake a perilous journey level of journey, but the problem as you get across the bridge is the Yellow Duchess hasn't exactly rolled out a welcome mat here, right? Like you could go in a dozen different directions. There are lots of little like gaps and holes and tunnels and passageways and doors. You have no idea where to go. With all that in mind, like what do you guys do?
I think at this point I actually will call forth Nerva from my sword and ask for guidance.
Yeah. Let's read the move to us. This is the first time.
Yeah, it's heirloom. When you consult the spirits that reside within your signature weapon, they will give you insight relating to the current situation and might ask you some questions in return. Roll plus charisma. On a 10+, the GM will give you good detail. On a 7 through 9, the GM will give you an impression.
Okay.
All right, and
Boxcars, you are the king of rolling high numbers.
Yeah, so 13.
All right. So I have to tell you. What do I have to tell you now again? Sorry.
It just says you have to give me good detail
about the situation.
Yeah.
So how do you perceive communicating with Nerva? What does it look like? Like in the movie version of this, what do we see?
Yeah, so like he would pull out his sword, and around the hilt, it's kind of there's kind of this like these like almost like a rosary wrapped around the hilt that he would remove. And it's not so much he's summoning her, but he's letting her out. That it's more something that keeps her in rather than lets her out. And as soon as it does, kind of this, can almost hear like fire going in the background, and this image comes out before Gregor.
Can everyone see it or just you?
I think everyone would be able to see it. Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'm going to give you a picture then in that case. As soon as I find it, I'm scrolling through the old Roll20. It's even still here. It might be gone. Yeah, I think it's no more. But oh wait, no, I have a recent uploads. See if I can change it. Okay, well, I don't know. Yeah, so this is what you guys see. I'll describe it while I'm looking for the picture, because I do have a picture of her somewhere.
You can search for it if you remember what you named it.
I don't, because I just grabbed it from the internet, so I didn't ever give it a title. But yeah, so she appears as a very tall, naked old woman. Okay, she's about 7 feet tall. She has like just pallid, saggy flesh. It looks like raw turkey, up and down from shoulder to to toe, and just hanging, sagging flesh, and a perfectly bald head. And she has big like razor talons on her fingers and her feet. Okay, there's some indication that she's not actually Gregor's grandmother in some ways, but he's come to think this. And she appears, and she looks at you and she says, she's got this like wild, like kind of raised eye, and she says, "You are very, very in danger, I think. Why have you brought me here, Gregor?"
Well, you seem to have been whispering in my ear in my dreams, and other people have told me that you have told them of my coming, the ferryman, for instance. And since you seem to know a lot about this place, I was wondering if you could give us some information on where we would go to meet with the Yellow Duchess.
I do not know the answer to this question, but I do know that you are not the first she has called. She will send you to Carcosa, the real Carcosa, on an errand of great importance, but you will not return. And then I have to give you great detail, right?
Yeah, well, it just says good detail.
Yeah. She will send you down on a mission of terrific importance because she aches for the condition of her people. And you will go because your heartstrings will be tugged. It is a weakness. But you will not. You will not return. You will die on the face of that planet.
What do you think will kill me?
Imagine the most terrible thing, the most horrible thing from the deepest, darkest recesses of your nightmares. It's nothing so gentle as that. And then she seems to be looking over your shoulder and she says, "Oh my, I don't recommend you turn around. Or do turn around.
She's not a very nice grandmother. Can I do a DR on her, like while she's talking and stuff?
Oh yeah, sure. Yeah, because if she's visible, you can be kind of like studying her. Yeah.
Which is intelligence, correct?
No, if you're just kind of examining her, trying to figure out what you can figure out about her, that's wisdom.
Oh, okay. 9.
Yeah. Well, what's your question?
It's gonna be who's really in control here?
It's Gregor. She's bound to the sword, and she's grumpy about it, but she otherwise has no. She can influence things. You can tell that like she's all smoke and no fire in that way, right? Like,
Okay.
Sure, she whispers in people's ears, but it's just.
Okay.
It's
I think
dreams.
that's what Karos would be concerned with. If like as long as she's contained, then whatever.
So Taros he's had it with all this.
I like that segue.
Not looking over the shoulder and all this kind of stuff. And I'm, I think, I don't know, do the rest of us hear what the sword was saying, or is this just something between him and Gregor? I don't know. It doesn't matter whether it was or not.
Yeah, no, I guess I would assume that everyone could hear it.
Yeah, I think he summoned it like she was there. Like
yeah. Okay. Yeah, and I've actually seen this saggy fleshed person too many times anyway. And I want to look away, and I don't really care what's behind me. But no, I go looking in my pack, and with my one, or I think I'm going to pull out a mirror, a little shaping mirror or something like that.
Yeah.
I'll look behind me without turning my head behind me.
Oh, good. We'll discern realities.
Okay.
As soon as you were saying near, Jason got really excited. I was like, "This
I know,
is
he's
not
like,
gonna be good."
finally.
I haven't even tried to tempt you guys to turn around yet either. just the mere suggestion is making you guys.
Wow, people are rolling well.
3 questions. This is a good mirror.
Yeah. Trusty mirror. Question first.
Well, yeah, I think the question is going to be. Let me just get over to them. I want the first one here to be. What should I be on the lookout for?
You should be on the lookout for this guy.
Okay.
Because you'll see it right over your shoulder. Though you haven't looked over your shoulder, you haven't physically turned around yet, so that's important. But I don't want to show the rest of the party. I just want to show you.
Okay.
So I think I'll show it to you on Hangouts. How does it sound?
Okay.
Chat. Just drop this sucker right in the chat here. Hopefully. There we go. Tell me if you got that or not.
I did. Okay. Is it really that big?
Oh yeah. So should they turn around or not turn around?
I think my eyes are probably giving away. I'm like, don't turn, don't look, don't. So I guess maybe I just use another question here. But is it actually? I guess this is following us, but maybe it can't hurt us unless we turn and look. I don't know. Let me just ask another question here. What is about to happen?
Nothing, as long as you don't look over your shoulder.
Okay.
Or physically turn around.
Yeah.
With the intent of looking, right? That's important.
Yeah. What here is useful or valuable to me?
In the little mirror, you will see stretching out from your midsection and kind of stretching out behind you is a very, very thin, shiny silver cord stretching out behind you as if you're tethered to it and stretching off into infinity.
Cool.
Oh, okay. So can I do this? Can I like pass the mirror around, so
To show everybody? Yeah,
can take a look.
Yeah.
Look. Okay. I didn't know if the DR allowed for that to happen.
No, it seems like a legit move. Sure. I mean, you have the information now, right?
Yeah. Because I won't be able to explain this to them. I'd like for them to see for themselves.
Whoa. I made it really big accidentally.
Yeah. But maybe we don't show it to the barbarian.
Let's do it. It's too well. You all look at it anyway.
Because he gets spooked out about stuff way too quickly.
It looks like that, and it also looks like he's in kind of he's surrounded by like a sort of silvery void behind him. It's just this great beast, very large.
Can I when I'm looking at it, can I look at try to feel that string that is attached to
you
me?
Don't feel anything.
Yeah, so it wouldn't be something that we could just cut.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously.
So, does someone try to hand me the mirror, or are you guys not?
I think I try to distract you while they're looking at the mirror. I try to distract you by giving you back the pelt that I've been sort of working on, trying, and say, look, it's almost ready.
I think everyone's seeing the creature. I'm going to give you all. Everyone take shaky. Everyone take shaky.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Just being.
Is there somewhere where we can record that?
If you look over the mirror, your shoulder. If you don't look over your shoulder, you don't. Or if you don't look in the mirror, you don't have to worry about it. But everybody else, you just mark an X next to.
Is it Dex?
So I think Harafe.
Shaky is Dex. Yeah.
I think Harafe has looked at it. He's not being sane about it. So is there something that happens if I look right at it, or?
Oh, if you turn around and look.
I feel like he's probably looked at it or glanced at it or seen it in the corner of his eye or something.
I will tell you that, I will tell you just so you can make a decision. This you're handing me as a golden opportunity because it's near certain. It's near certain. But you could survive it, but it would be very hard. So just FYI.
Oh, it would be very hard.
It would be very hard to survive it. Yeah.
That might not be best. Okay. I feel like maybe he's just seen it in his peripheral then.
Yeah.
He didn't use the mirror.
You've definitely once it starts to sort of interfere with you a little bit, you'll definitely be aware of its presence. It hasn't started to do that yet though. It's still kind of like in the distance somewhat. It's still traveling, like you can see it, but it's
okay.
It's not right up on top of you yet.
I say we make haste to this lady then, so we can get out of this alternate reality place.
Yeah, agreed.
Maybe we can outrun it.
Indeed. Well, let's zoom in on our little thing here. So here's how this works. So she has not left out, there's no go this way or go that way. There's nothing like that. She hasn't, and you could go in dozens of different directions. Okay. This complex has numerous doors and I mean hundreds of passageways. lots of different paths. I mean, it's enormous, right? I'm going to use my labyrinth move to help navigate this space. The way the labyrinth move goes, this iteration of it is going to go like this. Whoever wants to take point on navigating a section of the complex, you just describe to me how you're doing it, and then you roll an appropriate stat. If you get a, I probably need to pull up the move. Actually, I better pull it up because I'm going to misquote it. Let's see here. I don't even know where the most updated version of the move is in my life. I think it's probably somewhere on G+. Pull it up. This is what I die. This is what I'll be remembered for.
Nice.
There's nothing else I'll be remembered for. Here we go. Where's my labyrinth move? Yeah. Oh, here we go. So yeah, you roll an appropriate stat. On a 12 plus, you better let Chris roll. On a 12 plus, you'll get you hold 2. On a 10 plus, you hold 1. On a 7 to 9, you hold 1, but you also encounter a guardian. On a miss, you just encounter a guardian. And on a 1 to 3, if you do a really, really bad miss, on a 1 to 3, you also lose all your hold. You may spend 1 hold to find one of the labyrinth's treasures. In this case, you just find something valuable in the complex. But what you're aiming for is you can spend 3 hold at any time to find the Yellow Duchess. Okay. And I'll put the text of that move in the somewhere for you. I'll put it in the chat for you guys.
So I may or may not take point on this first one, but I think I do want to change into my sort of natural antelope form. If I have a natural form, I don't, that's my go-to form. Because they can smell danger and they can escape, by the skin of their teeth. It's that sort of thing. And I don't know. I guess that's my go-to place, right? When I'm in situations like this. And if I ever take point, I mean, that'll be part of the fiction, right? Is, I'm being antelope.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, And I don't need any rolls for transformations here or anything. And if you want to navigate via spell, for example, Karos, I don't need the spell. You just describe it. We'll use that as the basis of the roll. So,
okay.
Right.
But I think until otherwise, I'm just going to be in this antelope form.
Okay. Yeah.
It'd be cool if your antelope form was like a different kind of creature or something, like of this world, where you like turn in and you're like a purple antelope, with like horns or something like that. That'd be awesome.
I think what I do is
don't eat me.
I actually, now that I've got the wolf hide back, I throw that over myself, and I actually throw off all of my other armor, and I'm just wiping the blood all over myself. And as it gets on my hands, I'm like licking it off my hands.
Okay. It's just gross.
So I'm basically bloody and naked and wearing a wolf hide on top of me, like a berserker should.
You are definitely. I think the madness of the future madness of this planet Carcosa is you are in the mode. Okay, so I put the text of the move there. I'm going to clarify some of the text just to specify it for this particular adventure. It's not like there are not like per se guardians in this complex. It's just like dangerous things, basically. And there are not like treasures as much as there are just valuable things you run into. Okay. So yeah, who wants to be the first? Like, what's the first person what's the first person who wants to describe their approach and make the roll?
I'm game.
Okay, go for it.
So I have kind of entered this like beast mode. and I've got my dagger in one hand, and I'm like one-handed wielding the big club, the bone club.
Yeah.
And I'm just like walking with my arms spread out into the labyrinth.
And
I've kind of got like this. Everything's red in my vision.
Okay, nice. How are you navigating?
So I'll go ahead.
So you're like
Is
hunting
that sufficient for my approach?
Oh, well, just how are you navigating? Like what? Like how are you determining? I'm sorry, say it again. How are you like figuring out where to go?
Oh. So basically, I'm going towards in my vision, and I don't know if there's actually any science or if it's just me hallucinating, but wherever it's the most red is where I go.
That's perfect. Yeah, that's great. I love that. We'll make that plus wisdom.
Plus crazy. You got a lot.
Or that's roll plus weird.
So I have
definitely.
So that's a 9.
A 9. Somebody want to help him to bump it up?
That's a 9. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see if one of your companions wants to aid. How do you want to aid, Taros?
I think I might be there trying to. It all feels like he's doing these rando, decisions without any sort of logic, and
right.
Maybe I'm like nudging him with my nose, when he might be at this place where he's maybe in his mind, maybe like the shades of red are like, oh, this is really close. I can't really tell between these two things, and I sense that, and I'm just like maybe nudge him in a direction, and hopefully push him in a direction. I don't know. Maybe that's the way I'm doing it.
Aid with wisdom.
What about if like he thought that he was doing this, but the red is like him chasing you because you're an antelope and he's hunting you?
Oh, I like that.
But you're the one that's actually.
You're the red. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's pretty good.
Well, good. I don't know if I like the direction this is taking, but I do have the antelope move to basically just escape. So I guess that keeps me from actually getting caught. But okay, I'll do that.
With that description, I'd make it con instead.
Con, okay.
Yeah.
All right. So it's not going to matter.
Okay. Well, so
it goes an 8, right?
I think no. Yes. Well, so the move is still the same. Haraif got a 9, and so on a 7 to 9, you're going to hold 1. You guys have 1 hold, but you're also going to encounter a guardian. But for your miss, Taros, you're going to encounter the guardian first, and you have to tangle with it. So it's not a guardian, but it's a thing. In this case, it actually kind of is a guardian. So you've run ahead, Taros, basically, right? And you find yourself in a, I'm going to describe it how you see it, but and then I'll maybe clarify for the table of vision. But you find yourself in a narrow passageway with like the walls have like a thick gelatinous, like a hard, somewhat pliable substance over them with like pulsating lantern light behind them, right? In our modern day eyes, they're just kind of like big plastic, like wall fixtures, basically, right? Like with electric lights behind them. But you're in this hallway, and there's a little grate up above, and it swings down like and kind of bangs against the side, and you see something like coming down out of this. It's a central sort of like, it's a sphere. It's a glowing sphere, and it has 8 mechanical prehensile legs attached to it, right? And so it kind of like climbs out and can kind of like scale the walls and the sides of the wall, right? And this central sphere part of it is about the size of a rugby ball, or not a rugby ball, like a medicine ball. And it comes out, and it was glowing kind of a yellowy color, but then it like turns red. It's like bloop, it's a kind of like turns red, and it it says engaging security protocol number 0059. Engaging biometric identification procedure, and then a little gap opens up in front of your antelope face, a little about the size of a like that, and it's expecting you to do something. What do you do?
Speak, friend, and enter.
I'm afraid to stick my tongue in it, but that would be the only thing I would have to insert. I don't know.
Make a decision.
Do antelopes spit like moose spit? Or
No. I stick my tongue in it. I don't know why. I'm just doing it.
There's a like. You can see it like changing different colors.
Maybe my DNA will confuse it.
Biometric data received. Biometric data unidentifiable. Processing.
Antelope down. Antelope down.
Processing.
I think I have to get out of there. This is not going to go well.
Engaging intruder.
Yeah. Okay. That's the
Engaging
magic word.
intruder.
Those are the magic words.
And it's going for you. What do you do?
Run away.
Naked barbarian incoming.
Let me have the actual transformation roll now, so I can see how much hold you're playing with.
Yeah. Okay. Four plus 3, 7. So I have 2 hold.
All right, you can spend 1 to get away, but you'll just basically draw it to the party essentially, unless you want to give chase.
No, I think I'm going to draw it to the party.
There's already a naked barbarian coming right for you.
Yeah, I think I'm going to run past, past the barbarian.
I think
you guys red, right?
I think you guys are in kind of like a larger, like circular space with kind of a domed ceiling, and you can see a little bit of the a little bit of the glow from the planet, like kind of coming in from this like glass dome above you, and you just see the antelope like flying out of a passageway, right, and like doing its best to keep its footing on the metal grate floor, and you see this thing like just this octopoid robot thing, like just really fast. It's fast as hell, but not quite as fast as the antelope. It's coming out, and then it stops, and it begins to glow red, and it then like begins to float, like it kind of floats up in the air in the center of this room, and it says activate octo laser array, and then it like begins to spin, like it just begins to spin with all its little legs like flailing around in a bunch of different directions. Gregor, what do you do?
Yeah, as soon as it starts spinning, he just run, just as soon as it starts spinning and right before it looks like it's going to do something, he's going to whack it with his sword.
Okay. Roll hack and slash.
All right. Let's see. 4.
Yeah.
No, well, 6. So yeah.
Somebody want to
help? Maybe with. Yeah, the barbarian would make sense because you're right there.
So for help and interfere, do we just do the move that we want to do?
You just describe how you're helping him, and then we roll an appropriate stat. So.
And then Tim, you got XP too, hey?
I did. I did that.
You got smarter. Yeah. Next time you won't put your tongue in a machine.
So I think this is how maybe it's not going great. I think you're like, Gregor, you're going up, and I think you like make contact with the central node, but you're like slamming up against it, and like the rest of you can tell that his sword can't quite pierce the shell. So or can't quite cut through the robot limbs or whatever he's trying to do. So how would somebody try to help?
Yeah, it's not Taros because he's escaping unscathed at the moment.
Yeah.
Depending on what you want to do, I would say I could shoot it with my or maybe I could like run up. Well, I'm not very good at that, but I was thinking like maybe I could run up and hit my staff against the sword so that it like hits it further in, kind of thing.
Oh, so maybe like okay, so let's describe this. Like Gregor, what do you think? Like maybe you get like you kind of wedge your sword in and you can't quite cut all the way through an arm or something, and then it comes up and bops it. Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, so go ahead and roll plus strength, Carlos.
Yeah, that's my not so good one. Yeah, it wouldn't have mattered anyway. I got like a 2.
Okay, mark it next to
One day
I
I
think
will
you just like
succeed.
I think the thing just pulls free from you guys. Both of you mark an XP, or you should have already marked one. Now I guess, Gregor. It pulls away from you guys, and it's beginning. And it's just like activate octo laser array, and the room. He just lights the fucking room up with laser beams. Laser beams are flying in every goddamn direction. Like there are little guns on the end of each of his legs, and he's spinning like a whirligig, just sending lasers going everywhere. I want to find out from each of you how you are going to defend yourself from this.
That means that literally the barbarian's willy could get burned by a laser.
I'll go around the table. Gregor, what do you think?
Gregor, he is going to he's actually going to get under it because it's kind of going in most directions, but directly it's not firing down. Sure. So he's actually he's close enough. He's just going to try to pivot and get just right under it.
Okay, cool. Roll plus dexterity, Gregor. What about you, Carlos?
I'm thinking maybe I was the last one with the mirror, and I used the mirror to like bang, like put it up against the laser in front, okay. And it like hopefully will bounce it off.
Plus intelligence, please. Hooray! How about you? How do you avoid the lasers?
Are these like lasers that will cut off your arm in one swipe, or are they just like slowly burn you lasers?
They burn you. They just burn you. They just like create.
Okay.
They singe you or whatever. I mean, they hurt like hell, though. I mean, they do a lot of damage, but.
I think I let it burn me, but then I growl this vicious growl. I'm like, and so I'm using my move. What are you waiting for?
To try to draw the. Oh yeah. Yeah. I'll let you do that after you give me a con roll to resist the damage from the lasers.
Okay. So you endure it.
Taros, you can spend your second hold and you're in the clear.
Yep.
So that is a total of
unscathed.
Yeah.
That is a total of 8.
8. Okay.
Same with me. 8.
8. Okay. Awesome.
Meanwhile, the antelope is just like, fuck this.
Gregor, you got off scot-free. The two who got mid results, you just get like a little like kind of glancing, little blast of laser for like a D6 damage. Armor counts.
So nothing for me. I have 1 armor and I rolled a 1.
You're good.
So I rolled a 6, but I have this move, unencumbered, unharmed, so long as you are below your load and neither wear armor nor carry a shield, take +1 armor.
Okay,
so I'm naked, but I have +1 armor.
So you take 5 damage, yeah.
So it's just 5 damage?
Yeah.
Okay.
And so now you're going to call it out, right? You're doing your like roar to get its attention.
Yes.
Okay, roll that move. Do you want to make this? This might be like what are your hungers?
Power over others and mortal pleasures. I think I'm kind of trying to dominate it.
Yeah, this is a dominance move. Yeah, so roll a D8 and a D6 for that move.
Oh, not so good.
And the aim is lower.
Man.
Yeah.
I'm just going to give you a heart. Is that a fail or?
It's plus con. I have 1 con, so it's a total of 5.
Yeah, it does kind of make sense.
And okay, let's do it.
I need to pull up the creature's stats real quick.
It kind of makes sense though, because since it's like not an actual animal or whatever, right? It would just. Be
did call the laser focused thing to focus on me.
Yeah,
that sounds really dangerous.
It's true.
Let me pull up the stats for this thing. This is one of the monsters in Codex Chrome.
Ooh.
Who cares?
If anybody cares.
He's security drone number 093. All right. So yeah, he just he like flies at you like orb first, and so that his legs are like behind him, and he's really fast, and I don't think you're ready for it. And as he's flying right at you, he says, engage dynamic power thrust, and then like he whips the legs forward, and they're like they have like blades on the end, and he just slams right into your chest. You're gonna roll a d10 twice and take the highest of the two plus 4.
Holy crap.
Oh. So 13
and he's got it's not 13, and he's got 3 piercing, so he ignores your armor, so it's just straight up 13.
Okay.
And you're naked, so
well that would give me my armor, but yeah. Okay, so I'm like on the ground in a bloody mess now. I have 3 HP now.
Yeah, it may be time to go. Gregor, what do you do?
Is this flying?
I'm sorry, say it again.
Is it flying right now? Is it?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that Gregor, he when he was under it, he saw like what would maybe look to the audience almost like a charging port or something. It's he just sees it's like there's like a hole in its armor directly below it, so he's going to run up and kind of skewer it from underneath.
Okay, try to like get up into its mechanisms or whatever underneath there. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. I'm not even gonna make it be hack and slash. I just give me a plus wisdom. Roll plus wisdom, and we'll see how this goes.
Sure. So it's 8 plus. Do I have anything in wisdom? I don't think so. So that's just 8.
Okay. So I don't think it's enough to like. I don't think it's enough to turn it off or whatever. But I think you'll do. I think you'll do your damage though.
Sure.
With no retaliation. Just roll your damage and describe your attack.
Sure. And
you can ignore its armor too.
Okay. And at the end of last session, I actually leveled, so I took the Merciless.
Okay, cool.
So I get to add a D4 to that.
Nice.
So that's 11 plus. What is my? I think my signature weapon gives me. So it's 11, 12, 13 damage total.
That's almost enough to kill it. It has 19 hit points. So, but describe it. How's it go?
Yeah, so he jams his sword up into it, and it definitely it hits something. It severs something inside the mechanism. So a couple of its arms just kind of go limp, and it actually takes a little bit to Gregor to get his sword out because it kind of gets it stuck first.
Right,
kind of jams it against bangs it against the wall to get it
stick
off
it in there and
sword.
stir it around. Right,
yeah.
Well, so Carlos, what do you do? This thing's on its last legs. You can see it kind of sputzing and fittering, going crazy.
I think he's gonna do magic missile and try to get it in the hole that's opened.
Nice.
But since it's like in a different world, I was wondering if it'd be cool if it like instead of the magic missile was looking like it did before it, maybe it looks sort of like techno-organic-y kind of thing here.
I like that. Yeah. Well, roll it and see how it goes. Cast a spell.
Maybe it looks like a laser.
10.
Nice. Roll your damage and then just describe. Then we'll figure out how the scene after you roll your damage.
7.
That's enough to destroy it. Describe. Give us the whole wrap up there.
Yeah. So I think he's like he does like his tattoo action, and then like it springs out of his fingers, but instead of it like being like a magical like fairy dust action going on or whatever, it's like a techno thing that sort of like grows out and then shoots like a sci-fi gun and kind of thing.
Okay.
And then it's like the 3 different pellets or whatever like spiral around, and then it goes into like a point of view for the camera, and you see it like go into the innards of the creature and then like shoot outwards from it to
blow it up. Cool. Let's end the session there.
Nice. I like the idea of the antelope the whole time. It's just like dancing around, just like fuck this. Nope, nope, nope.
Yeah, antelope beat hoof.
It was, you know, what's that dance off video game at the
Zoolander?
arcade? No,
Go TDR.
Oh, DDR.
Yeah. I think that's what I was doing with those lasers flying around. Just doing all these dance moves.
Nice.
All right. Look at your flags. Do you think you hit a flag? If so, ask that player whether you sufficiently hit it, and they'll tell you whether you get an XP or not.
Well, the bear skin thing, I think we hit with Gregor and me in the tavern or whatever. The truly an outsider thing, I don't know if we did hit it. Like, I think we tried to, but it felt a little bit weird, maybe.
Well, just each of you make your case to the player of whose flag you're trying to get XP for. So.
Well, I specifically had with Gregor.
Yeah, I think he hit that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
asking him about what he's doing outside the mission.
yeah. I think he definitely hit that, and I kind of did something fairly directly with Karos of asking him about his tattoos.
Oh,
yeah,
okay, cool.
I think I also kind of triggered Karos's flag because when he asked me when he was freaking out about the bush thing, I was like, "This is kind of normal."
Yeah. That was good. That was a good scene. Yeah. As long as Fraser agrees, you're in good shape then.
Yeah.
So marking XP.
And then I tried to hit the instant gratification thing when you were carrying the corpse and saying don't show it to the boy kind of thing, and then you sort of reveled in it and did it anyway, and then maybe throw up. So that might be hitting that one.
For the point out instant gratification, that would be ugly or costly for me to pursue. I don't know.
It didn't end up being ugly or costly, I guess.
It was ugly, but it wasn't really like
costly.
You weren't really pointing out the instant gratification of it. I think you were just pointing out that it was ugly.
Oh yeah. Okay.
To be fair.
Although maybe it would be. Oh, go ahead. Sorry. I was just going to say.
I feel like everyone kind of gave me the choice not to be civilized because no one like straight up took away my wolfskin. I don't know. Maybe it has to be something with a little more directness than that. But
well, they all did let you do that disgusting shit. Like no one's.
I mean,
it was disgusting.
I kind of ended the session naked and bloody.
That's
so
true. Yeah. Well, particularly with the wolf skin, right? Like, yeah. Even if Karos doesn't get XP on that one, I feel like you had to have done another one, right, Karos, at some point. But maybe I don't know. Yeah. Give me the choice not to be civilized when it would serve me to straighten up. Yeah, I think that's probably the best. That's the most salient one, I think, is for Harafe, is just the fact that you guys like let him
be gross.
Do that and be gross, right? Like,
no, I definitely think that Taros did the second one because he gave me back the wolf skin.
All right, yeah.
So he's like instant gratification. That's ugly. So
yeah, I mean, I already got.
He already got an XP, so it doesn't really. Yeah. Well, okay, so is that yay or nay on Karos? I guess before.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Everyone definitely did the first one.
Cool. Let's look at your alignment statement.
Oh yeah, right. Mine is looking for wizard lore, I think.
I think it's like discover something about a magical mystery. Is that it? It's usually
something like that.
That's
Yeah.
usually the one everyone chooses for a wizard. It's almost as dependable as picking wolf as your animal companion.
Yeah, I think I picked that one.
Am I someone's wolf animal companion?
Yeah, exactly. Right. Yeah, I think you did. Mark XP. Alignment chaotic for Hooray. Eschew the convention. Oh yeah, definitely mark an XP for Hooray. Gregor, yeah. Well, Gregor, do you think you were defending Hooray? Did you perceive him to be weaker than you in that moment?
He got pretty messed up.
He was, yeah, he was laying on the ground bleeding, and even before that, he was naked and bleeding.
As long as you perceive it that way, I'm cool with it. Take an XP. And let's look at Taros. Destroy a symbol of civilization. Did you do that, Taros?
I don't think so. No.
Okay. Well, let's move on.
Unless us killing that bot is destroying a symbol of this civilization.
I don't know what it's a symbol of. Well, he didn't do it anyway.
I ran from it.
You ran, yeah. Okay, cool. Did we learn something new and important about the world? Yes.
I didn't stick my tongue out at it.
That's true. You did do that. Did we learn something new and important about the world? Yes. Everyone mark XP. Did we overcome a notable monster or enemy? Yes. That robot's hard as hell. Mark an XP.
Is that the like another XP on top of the last one?
Yeah. So for these final 3 questions, you each get an XP if we answer them yes. So for each one. Yeah.
Okay.
So you're up to 2 more now. And did we loot a memorable treasure? I'm gonna say yes. I thought the wolf pelt was very enjoyable.
That was messed up.
So yeah, you can all get an XP as well.
Because you had to endure having it. I failed a roll, right? So I failed the Herculean appetites, and that's an XP too, right?
Yeah. Every time you fail a roll, you get an XP. Yeah. Okay. Or every time you miss a roll. Cool.
I'm good at that. I level fast.
Awesome. We got a few more minutes left. Is there anything we need to discuss? I had a really good time. That was fun.
Yeah,
fun
me
stuff.
too. I felt like it was more, I felt there was more tension in this than even Tremulous, with the don't look behind you and going over the fairy bub and stuff. I was like actually tense in my seat, and then so that was fun.
That was the idea. Good. I'm glad. No, it was good. I really, you guys were great. I enjoyed. I enjoyed I pulled a lot of my old tricks in this session, but they all seemed to stick. So everyone seemed like they were having a good time. Any other feedback or anything? Or?
I'd like to next time. I'm going to try to connect with Taros more, because I think he's the only one I haven't really interacted with.
I feel like we got a much better picture of your character this session, which is great. I feel like I know Carlos a lot better. Which is about right. Normally, the first session we're still kind of feeling them out, right? So.
I think, Jason, I think it was really good when you asked Gregor and I what we thought about Karos. I know maybe you were leaning.
Cool.
Maybe you were leading to his failed role that had just happened, but
it was kind of a little bit of that. Yeah, I was kind of like echoing, like I was very much trying to run it like a movie, right? I mean, like, so while that's going on over there, maybe you guys are talking about Karos, right?
Right. And I thought even though this wasn't Fraser talking about his character himself, I also think it's interesting when other characters talk about someone, what they think about them. I thought that added a little bit of flavor to it.
Cool. I remember that. Yeah, I don't think I've ever done that before. So
I know that was the reason why I wanted to bring it up, because it gave me an opportunity, because this character has been in a couple of different adventures already, with different wizards, and I really feel like my character is, and I had a chance to kind of put a voice to that in this that my character has a different sort of outlook and with this wizard than some other ones that we've done, and without that question, it probably wouldn't have ever.
No, that's good. Yeah, well, because in other company wizards have been like, they're always like, they're basically like kind of like Dr. Smith, right? Like they they're interested in learning things, but it's because they want to be, you know,
Powerful.
They want power. Yeah, they want to be like crazy power mad, you know, wizards, right? So like we're seeing them all in their sort of like red robed Raceland stage, right? You know, like before they go black robe. Sorry, there's a Dragonlance thing for Chris.
So it was a real nuance. It was a real nuance, Jason. But I really enjoyed the opportunity to do that.
Oh, good. Yeah. No. Well, what I thought you guys were going to do when I did that, I was like, I thought you guys were going to discuss it in character, or at least that's what I was thinking was going to happen. But you ended up just answering the question, which is fine. That worked too. But yeah, I was kind of good. I was actually, when I threw it in there, I was kind of like maybe thinking that maybe you guys would like pick up that as a point of conversation while you're walking to the, you know, to the thing or whatever. But, and I think that's how I perceived it, even though you guys didn't say it in character, right? But
so, and I think that could be good too, Jason. I would just say, because you are the GM, you know, when you kind of inject like that, perhaps my first thought is, oh, the GM is wondering what I.
He's got a question, right? Yeah.
So
I mean, I was happy with the answer regardless.
Right, but I mean, and I also would have loved to have done that in conversation too. So I mean, all you have to do is just say, hey, maybe what you guys think about this? You want to have a conversation about what you think?
Yeah, no, that's good. Whatever.
Yeah. And that would make it clear about what voice we kind of do for that. But that was good. Either way, it didn't matter.
Cool. Yeah, I thought it was a really terrific session. I enjoyed. I like the characters a lot. I'm really becoming fond of the characters. I'm glad we got to hit the Nerva stuff with Gregor a little bit, which was great. Yeah. I like that she's so like. I love how duplicitous she is, and how like I love her sort of like basic duplicity, you know, like. Yeah. And I love Gregor's like still firm belief that like. They're related, even though it's pretty obvious they're not. Like she's pretty plainly a hag, right? Not like an actual human woman, but
yeah, like I guess I don't know if Gregor thinks that he's like blood related to her.
Yeah, but yeah.
But yeah.
Or I also like the idea of it just being something of like a sardonic joke, right? Like, oh yeah, my grandmother, even though like, you know, you you know, like maybe you realize
maybe that's what he tells people to make them feel better when they see it.
Although one thing I worried a little bit about last session too with Karos is that I did worry about maybe like I was putting words in his mouth a little bit, because when I did the move of something that annoys me about him and had him say something behind my shoulder, you know, it's like I was thinking about that, like, well, I kind of took over his character with that. So.
I asked you though, so I mean, it's a leading question on purpose. So I mean, that was because it's like your character's perception, right? It doesn't mean
that's true.
Exactly.
That's how he's actually doing.
Yeah,
it, right? Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, and I kind of liked how that turned out in the end, with him being naive anyway. So it ended up being like a little mini arc that happened anyway. So
I think it's perfect for Karos, because I envision Karos as kind of like, you know, like we've discovered that he's very naive, but I imagine he's also pretty pedantic when it comes to magic stuff, you know, like like he knows best or whatever. Like, this is a thing I know, so step back, you know. So yeah. Cool. Well, that was loads of fun. I'll see you guys next week. Please go RSVP to that final session on the. Go find that link in the last session where I put the new systems, the URL for the new system, the new RSVP system, because I don't want to I don't want to have a weird situation where someone RSVPs to that. They're not, you know, like. They have name, so
I did it using my email. Is there a way to check to make sure that it worked?
You know, I haven't even checked. So while we're all on, why don't we just go look?
So I think I did it, but I'm not.
You did, yeah, Chris. I've got yours. I remember seeing your little Cthulhu badge.
Cthulhu badge.
Let's see. Let me just check the calendar. I have to say, I do like that we can kind of just see everything in one spot.
Shows them in there. I like it. And I like the huge backgrounds and then the typography below it and stuff.
I think once people get used to looking for the like where we're advertising them on the G+, I think they'll be very enticing. So I got Philip, I got Tim. You're all there. Awesome. Perfect. All right.
Yeah. Cool. And then so for the ones in the future, like December and stuff, we'll just same thing. Look at
they're going to be I'm going to be canceling them on Friday. and then but I'm relaunching them completely. So I'm not promising anybody's spots are going to be available still. Like, so basically I'm going to cancel them and then I'll relaunch them and then just go grab the spots. So I don't know how else to do it, because migrating the RSVPs over will be a pain in the ass. And I'm not like, I feel like just the best thing to do is just to cancel them. But I'll give you guys, what I'll do is I'll tell all the people who are in the RSVP'd into the meetup already on December and November, I'll give them the URL first. I'll say, here's the URL, go do this. I'm going to post it publicly soon, go, and then that's how I'm going to do it. So you'll know before everybody else, but maybe not longer before everybody else, not much,
Okay, sounds good.
All right, so I'll see you guys later. Okay, that was super fun. Thanks.